on Prime Crime.
I'm afraid we have some bad news. Looks like there might have been a robbery gone wrong.
When plans are set in motion,
she's not very cooperative. I'm just gonna have to put a bullet in her myself.
the evidence points in all different directions.
There was plausible deniability with respect to what he wanted.
He asked me, "Are you wearing a wire?"
Just get it done, you'll get the payment.
Hey there, everybody. I'm Jesse Weber, and welcome to Prime Crime. This is where we break down the most high-profile and memorable true crime cases. Now, anybody who follows this program knows we focus a lot on recordings, like 911 phone calls, body cam footage, interrogations. But the recordings in this case tell a whole different kind of story. The question is, what exactly is that story?
What's going on?
He wants to talk to you.
It's around 3 a.m. on March 10th, 2017 in Houston, Texas. Police arrive at the home of veterinarian Valerie McDaniel.
I'm afraid we have some bad news. Your ex-husband's been found. It looks like it turns out to be a fatality. Looks like it might have been a robbery gone wrong.
Police are referring to Valerie's ex, Marion Mack McDaniel.
Have you heard from him recently?
I was at the house last night. I called the police.
Why'd you call the police?
Because he had my daughter.
Where's your daughter now?
She's in bed.
Is she the one that's here? Just her?
No, my boyfriend's here.
At one point, Valerie's boyfriend, Leon Jacob, comes into the room.
Oh my God.
Might have been a robbery gone wrong.
As police break the news of the death of McDaniel to the couple, they also ask more about the two.
I'm a doctor here too.
What kind of doctor are you?
I'm an unlicensed transplant surgeon.
So have you ever practiced?
Yeah, I just haven't practiced in a while.
His medical career was interesting. He did not go to medical school here in the States, so he sought a degree elsewhere and then tried on 2 separate occasions to secure a medical degree or standing within the States. And by all accounts, they were met with poor work performance.
Do you have any idea who might wanted to harm your husband? Was he worried about anything?
I don't know. Like I said, I met him once.
But let's rewind 3 days earlier.
Hello?
Hey, what's up, man?
How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. Hey, listen, I'm gonna set up a meeting with you tomorrow so we can finish this, okay?
Okay.
And I'm gonna bring with me the Navy SEAL guy because he wants, so we can get this done.
On this recorded call, Jacob is speaking with Army veteran Motez Aza, aka Zach.
We're taking care of both problems.
What, both problems?
Both of the individuals that we're talking about. I'm talking about my issue and Valerie's issue.
It would later be revealed those 2 people Jacob was referring to are Valerie's ex Mac and Leon's ex-girlfriend Megan Veracas.
Are they both going to be taken care of?
Yeah. We'll talk about it tomorrow. He'll take care of them.
He'll take care of both of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
The next day, Zach meets with Jacob and McDaniel at an Olive Garden. It's there when Zach introduces the couple to a third person.
It's depend on me.
I don't want to unless that's the only option. But I prefer that not be the option.
There's only one problem for Jacob and McDaniel. That third man wasn't who he seemed to be.
This is Officer Duran with the Houston Police Department. I will be meeting suspect Leon Jacob and Valerie McDaniel. They have solicited me to commit murder. I was assigned to the Major Offenders Division. The way that I was brought into this investigation is there's a bondsman who also happens to be a City of Houston council member. His name is Michael Kubash. He was approached by Leon Jacob. He's told Mr. Kubash that he was looking for a guy named Zach, whom he had paid a lot of money to take care of some problems, and Mr. Kubash felt very uneasy with those questions, so he contacted the police department.
Valerie wants to talk to you about what she wants to do with her ex-husband.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, but Megan will be taken care of too this week?
Yeah.
Motaz was actually the original hitman. He wasn't going to actually kill her. He was just stringing Leon along for money. When we found out about the murder for hire plot, we contacted Motaz, and he became a cooperating witness. And his purpose was to introduce me to Leon so that I can become the new hitman.
I want that taken care of ASAP too.
No, we'll take care of it.
Peace.
Jacob reveals to undercover officer Duran the trouble that not only McDaniel was having with her ex, including a custody battle.
That abducted the daughter. He won't give her back. She's right over there with the police. He's a piece of
But also at the time, Veritas had taken out a protective order against Jacob for allegedly assaulting and stalking her, and was planning to testify against him.
I just want her to leave, and I want my legal problems to go away.
And this isn't the first time Jacob has run into problems.
He had a marked history of violence towards women and acting out when he did not get his way.
Yet, what exactly is Leon Jacob asking for?
As far as my situation goes, I prefer that no one gets hurt.
I don't need to see anything. They're gonna come after me.
They're not going to.
Houston, Texas, 2017. Authorities are investigating Leon Jacob and his girlfriend, Valerie McDaniel. They suspect the couple of orchestrating a murder for hire plot, one target being Mac McDaniel, Valerie's ex-husband, the other, Jacob's ex-girlfriend, Megan Veritas. In fact, at the time, Jacob was facing felony charges of stalking and assaulting Veritas. But little did Jacob and McDaniel realize that the person they're speaking with is actually undercover police officer Javier Duran.
I worry about this being in-person stuff because I worry about that I'm being set up to get here too. But I gotta trust you.
Okay, what you need to understand, from my side, I'm worrying about being over the phone. That's how people get caught on the phone.
Duran was introduced to the two through cooperating witness Motez Zach Aza, and the conversations between Jacob and Duran are interesting.
I don't have Zach's number because we communicate via a secret email.
This is a burner phone.
As far as these phones go, they're gonna get put to an incinerator. I understand exactly what we're using, Alias. I got it.
That's clear. The fact that he told me he was using a burner phone and that he was using an alias told me that he was serious about this.
And then there was the money trail.
Motaz was paid $10,000 and 2 Cartier watches and a laptop. At least to start, I'll need the $2,500 payment.
Just get it done and you'll get the payment.
When I agreed with Valerie and Leon to kill Mac McDaniel, we agreed that'd be an additional fee of $10,000.
It's clear that this was not a fleeting concept that just entered into his mind, but something that over time he was willing to pay for to achieve.
However, what exactly did Jacob think he was paying for? Is this really a case of him soliciting a murder?
When you're doing a murder for hire investigation, you want to make sure that they're actually planning to go through with the murder. Sometimes you find out that the person who is looking to have somebody killed, they were just angry at the time. In that case, the investigation is pretty much over. I can get him out of the picture real quick.
Whatever you guys do, in any other situation, we'll deal with the next couple of days.
Leon's very intelligent. He was being very cautious with the words that he would use. So he never came out and said, I want her dead. I want you to kill her. He also would say things like, I don't want her hurt.
I understand that you don't want her hurt. I know that. I just wanted to leave, have these charges go away.
There was plausible deniability with respect to what he wanted to have achieved. Jacob clearly laid out other than fatal options for the intended target. And specifically, he mentioned having her go out of town, having drugs planted on her.
I know I used to get her in trouble. I don't see that playing out too much. It's not like I have contacts. It's not like in the movies where somebody just calls a ticket cop.
But at the same time, He would make comments like, inject her in the heart with potassium chloride. He would also ask me to kidnap her.
Where are you gonna take her to talk to her?
Either a storage unit, but then we thought about that and we thought about cameras.
Cameras, tons of cameras there.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't planning on her coming back alive.
I already just wanted to leave. Get in her car, pack her up, and go home.
I think that plays into his mental illness and his personality disorders. He spent some time in a facility here in Houston. He was treated for narcissistic behavior, bipolar, and a couple other syndromes. I don't think he understood the consequences of what he was doing.
The question of whether Jacob actually wanted Megan and Mac dead would become even more complicated by what happened next.
What exactly did she say to you when you told her she needed to leave?
In so many words, I don't give a anymore. I'm willing to do what I need to do to make sure that this doesn't get away with what he's done. When we've done this in the past, people have requested messages. Some people want their target to get hit, shot 10 times in the head or something.
Whatever you and Valerie discussed.
In 2017, authorities are conducting an elaborate sting operation of Leon Jacob and his girlfriend Valerie McDaniel out in Houston, Texas. They believe the couple are orchestrating a murder-for-hire plot against their respective exes, Megan Veracas and Mac McDaniel. What Jacob and McDaniel don't realize is that the person posing as a hitman is actually undercover police officer Javier Duran.
So there's something else we can do, which is where her body won't be found. I'm gonna be honest with you, Leon. I need to protect myself.
What's your real name?
I can't give you my
Are
name.
you using my real name?
I don't know if that's your real name or not.
Duran has to make sure, though, that Jacob and McDaniel are actually soliciting a murder. And that's when authorities take a dramatic step in this operation.
Well, my friend, this is what I was trying to tell you. I have some good news for you, but I need to meet you.
Mac assisted us by faking his own death. We took him to a secure location. From there, we staged a murder in his real vehicle. The male subject, I'm sure you know who I'm talking about, he's gone, he's done. He's done. When I met Leon and Valerie to tell them about Mac, Mac is dead, he's gone. I have a picture. He didn't really say much, he just looked at it and shook his head up and down.
You don't have a reason why. You know, wires or anything.
If you want to show me? No. His immediate reaction to that, he asked me, are you wearing a wire? It shows that he was very cautious for his own safety. So he did check my shirt. I was wearing more than one recording device. I was not wearing a wire. Luckily, I was not wearing one of those.
And Mac McDaniel wasn't the only cooperating participant in this operation.
For Megan, we actually staged her kidnapping. We took Megan to a secure location, which in this case was a garage, and zip tied her hands. We had to make it look very real.
I sent you a picture of her. Do you want me to take care of her myself?
You have to do that.
You should see how Megan is acting. She's she's not very cooperative. I'm just gonna have to put a bullet in her myself. I need an answer.
Well, I don't want to hurt, but if she's gonna go to the cops, and does she understand what's gonna happen to her if she doesn't leave?
I'm pretty sure she knows I'm not playing with her.
Officer Duran takes another step in this stage scheme.
Hello?
Hey, bud. I just wanted to let you know there's no reason with her, put too much risk on us. That's pretty much it, man. She's dead. She's gone.
You already took care of it?
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna come back to her.
Absolutely nothing. I'm taking care of everything as we speak right now.
He immediately went into protection mode. He never expressed any type of regret. He never expressed any type of anger at me. Why would you do this to Megan? I told you not to do this. He was concerned with himself.
And that brings us back once again to the early morning hours of March 10th.
If anybody knows anything or
No,
might be able to help us.
Are you okay, baby?
That reaction was priceless because you could see immediately what we now recognized is feigned shock.
We've been here all night. We were watching movies. We haven't been out of the house all day.
It leads a lot to be desired in the realm of acting.
Right now, we're going to read you your rights.
Me?
Because both of you are being arrested for solicitation of capital murder.
Why?
Solicitation of murder.
We
You have the right to remain silent.
I walked inside of the living room and they both looked up at me and both of their faces just fell to the ground. They knew that they were in really big trouble.
But how strong of a case is this really? Up next, the trial is on.
Did you ever pay money for the purpose of harming or hurting either Megan or McDaniel?
No. I mean, I don't know why I'm being arrested.
Okay, well, he just told you.
Solicitation of capital murder.
Down in Houston, Texas, Leon Jacob and his girlfriend Valerie McDaniel are arrested and charged with solicitation of murder. Police say the two attempted to hire a hitman to kill their exes, Megan Veracas and Marion Mack McDaniel. But the two didn't realize the man they were dealing with was actually undercover police officer Sergeant Javier Duran.
I need an answer.
Tell her she's got a decision to make right now. It's either act her up and goes, or you're going to do what you do.
However, something happens with Valerie McDaniel before she ever steps foot in front of a jury.
When she was arrested, she took the drastic step of taking her own life. And when her friends and family were spoken to afterwards, they firmly and consistently blamed her interaction with Jacob.
But that didn't halt the prosecution of Leon Jacob, and his criminal trial began in 2018.
He knew exactly what Valerie wanted. She was sitting right there when the officer said, "This is what she wants, this is how we're gonna do it, I need the payment," and Leon immediately offers the payment. And that night, he wants it done, and he wants it done right then.
The prosecution used the tapes to support their version of the events.
You showed me this time, then you do what you gotta do.
Reasonable doubt is all over the place. Every act is all instigated by the police department.
The defense argued that really he had never intended this murder and that the undercover officer, through time, had baited him and made him believe that the only option to achieve his results, to not have this woman testify against him, was murder.
You can actually talk to her?
I don't know if talking's gonna do much help at this point.
The jury heard from multiple witnesses connected to the case, but all eyes were on the defendant, Leon Jacob, when he took the stand.
At the time, I was not 100% of what those services were because Valerie had made that negotiation with him.
Jacob has said repeatedly that it was really Valerie's idea.
Whatever you and Valerie discussed, that's between you and Valerie, because we have a difference of opinion about that.
And of course, Valerie is not here to posit her version of the events at trial.
I never asked anybody to kill anybody. 177 times during these conversations do I say the words, "I don't want to harm, hurt, or kill anybody."
Jacob is an intelligent individual, and he has carefully crafted what he was trying to say while he was on the stand.
When you tell the members of this jury that you're heartsick over Megan, that's not really true, is it?
I have no problem sitting here and saying that I slept with Valerie 7 days after Megan and I broke up. But I'm not on trial for being a womanizer. I'm on trial for solicitation of capital murder.
He could not control his anger, and I think the district attorney, Samantha Connect, I think she did a great job.
You told Javier, snatch her, put her in a room, and tell her if she doesn't leave, I'm gonna kill her parents, right?
If that's what you say, I said.
Did you say it, Mr. Jacob?
Sure.
Regardless of the evidence that's presented at trial, it's really anybody's game what the jury will think.
We, the jury, find the defendant Leon Philip Jacob guilty of solicitation of capital murder as charged in the indictment. We, the jury, find the defendant Leon Philip Jacob guilty of solicitation of capital murder as charged in the indictment.
Personally, I've rarely seen a case that had so much videographic damning evidence against the criminal defendant.
We, the jury, having found the defendant Leon Philip Jacob guilty of solicitation of capital murder, assess his punishment at confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for life, assess a fine in the amount of $10,000.
Leon has filed a writ of habeas corpus with the Court of Criminal Appeals. We are awaiting a decision on that case. He's claiming that his trial attorney was ineffective. The trial attorney should have told him that there was no defense and that he should have pled guilty and put on a punishment case. I think he's got a fairly good chance of getting a new punishment hearing.
You manipulated me to leave my family and the life I had. I believe everything happens for a reason. While you sit in jail, I hope you think of me, the girl that you called poor and uneducated. Because it's because of me you will be in prison for life.
It's my belief that I don't think he could live with the fact that she didn't want him. He's Leon Jacob. He's God's gift to women. And he couldn't believe that he was turned down by this girl. And I think he wanted Mac out of the picture so that Valerie didn't have to pay him any of the money. Ultimately, I believe that Leon's motivation is just greed and vanity.
Despite Jacob's attempts to show he didn't mean what he said on those tapes, it didn't really work, and the jury convicted him. Now here's something to consider. Imagine if Officer Duran wasn't there. Imagine this wasn't an undercover operation. Imagine this was all for real. What could have ended up happening to two people is very scary to think about. That's all we have for you here on Prime Crime. As always, thank you for joining us, and until next time, stay safe.